Right to a Fox News alert. Nate now downgraded to a tropical storm, but not before making landfall twice as a Category 1 hurricane overnight.
The Mississippi coast battling powerful storm surge at this hour and flooding as well.
The effects are also being felt in Alabama. That is where we find Rick Leventhal, who is live for us in Mobile, Alabama. Rick, what are you seeing there?
Good morning, Ed, Dean, and Abby. The rain has stopped here in Mobile, but there are still problems to deal with, including about a foot and a half of water here on Water Street, which runs along the Mobile River in downtown Mobile. You can see the ramp to Highway I-10 right there. Some motorists have been coming down the ramp, seeing this high water and making a U-turn. There's one truck that did not and decided to try getting through, and then you see the car next to him with the flashers on. He stalled out, and he told me, the driver, that he's going to wait for the water to recede and then try to get his car out of there. That might be a while. And here comes an 18-wheeler trying to make its way past the convention center and onto the highway. There is a lot of coastal flooding, not just in Alabama, but of course in Mississippi, in Biloxi and Gulfport, where the storm came ashore just after midnight as a Category 1, 85, 90-mile-an-hour winds. It was a very fast-moving storm, about 20, 25 miles an hour in forward speed, so it didn't linger very long. Didn't dump as much rain as it could have if it had been a slower storm, and because those sustained winds were moving through so quickly, it didn't do a whole lot of property damage. In fact, Mississippi emergency officials tell us that they're not hearing any major reports of damage, but they're going to assess when the sun comes up. No reports of deaths or injuries that we've heard so far as this truck makes its way past us headed towards the highway. But there are power outages, tens of thousands of them, including some 46,000 people without power here in the Mobile area. So that's another issue. And of course, this storm is still packing some pretty powerful winds and a lot of rain. It's moving its way now north of us. So there are people inland that are going to be dealing with Nate for some time to come. This is the first time since Katrina that Mississippi took a direct hit from a hurricane, and they are, again, going to be dealing with some issues there and assessing the damages once that sun comes up, guys.
All right, Rick Lyforce, thank you so much. If you have to be in a car, you're going to want to be in that FedEx truck.
FedEx, but it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. FedEx. That was a commercial for FedEx right there. They were going through the...
Totally.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And Rick rolled with it.
He did. He rolled right with it. Rick rolled it.
Well, speaking of Rick, let's go over to our other Rick Reichmuth, for what we can expect throughout the day and tomorrow. What are you hearing?
Well, I tell you, Rick was just talking about Katrina. That brought about a 30-foot storm surge onto Mississippi coastline. This one, about a 5-foot storm surge. So a far less significant storm than that one, obviously. But that will still cause some damage across the coastline there. Rain still to be had. There will be more coming through the area. This is a look at the future radar. Watch what happens throughout the day today. The worst of the rain moves in throughout North Georgia, in across parts of the southern Appalachians, throughout the evening tonight in towards the central Appalachians, and by tomorrow headed in across parts of the mid-Atlantic and towards the northeast. There's a lot of rain for a lot of people here, so we're going to be seeing some localized flooding eventually all the way up in across parts of the northeast. You see those reds that are there, even all the way up in across parts of Pennsylvania and in throughout upstate New York. We're talking about some spots that are going to see over 4 inches of rain combined from a front that's moving through. That is what is actually pulling Nate up towards the north. Because of that, that localized flooding potentially could be damaging for some people. Be very careful tomorrow morning in your commute across a lot of the roads as well. But we are in the short term watching flash flooding that's going on across parts of the panhandle of Florida and throughout southern Alabama, and then flood warnings go in effect across this North Georgia mountains and up across parts of the southern Appalachians right now. Guys?
All right, keep a close eye on that. Thank you so much, Rick.